Alright, so fantastical new wilderness. What do you guys think?
Can't wait.
But
Yeah.
why? Why cannot you wait, Bryson? Why?
Because I actually might go PKing again.
Dude, you're allergic. Okay, you're like Jim. Jim's like, I want to go PK, man. And then he gets all emo and he's like acting like his entire neighborhood just died because he just lost a rune set. Like,
No, I mean, I'd probably go PK and Darox and shit again at Mage Bank.
dude, I cannot wait for fucking 2.3 mil Darox to come back, 600k helms.
Yep.
And people watching right now are like, what? I'm a new fag. You're crazy. Not to be rude to people, but just. it's
And
kinda
I
what
might
people are
might
called.
actually go fuck around in Wildy. I don't know.
Well,
I,
just mean-
I basically quit PKing because I lost like 15 mil back in the day when 15 mil was a lot.
Yeah.
And,
just work for 3 years and get full dragon. By
yeah,
that I mean chain body and a med helm.
yeah.
Dude, med
exact-
helms were like 800k. That was crazy.
That was pretty ridiculous. Yeah.
It was funny when it was 2.2 mil.
Okay, well, yeah. But I just mean like all these things like
And D
prices are
square
gonna
was
go fucking
7.
crazy.
Jesus.
I know, right? No, but for all the people who didn't know, prices back in the day were not retardedly low. A lot of things were really high, like whips. Bryson can atone to this. Whips were like 10 mil, because you can choose a price for that. And you're like, I'm totally going to go get 85 Slayer, because I can choose a price for a series. It's not just 3 mil in the G. If I want to sell for 10 mil, I can do that. Awesome. I'm going to go get 85 Slayer. And
And that's what I did.
that's what he did. And he got 85 Slayer, and he got whips, and he sold them, and he's like, nigga. So he did
The
that.
first whip I got, I sold for like 13 mil, I think.
That's quite a bit.
Yeah, well, they weren't all over RuneScape like they are now. I'm standing at the GE, and I swear to God, I see like 40 people holding a whip.
Yeah.
You know?
Before it was actually a rare drop.
Alright. So, Matt, you want this to be a 10-minute video?
Okay,
maybe we should start
15
talking
minute.
about...
I'm gonna make this into like 12 parts. It doesn't matter.
Alright, if that works,
Just
then
a big giant discussion of.
let's start off with PvP aspects then, like the PvP weapons.
Okay, PvP weapons. Now you see, at the moment, PvP weapons are, I wouldn't say a common drop, but they're common enough for mains. Not that either of you PKs know that, but if you have defense or a decent amount of DP, you usually get at least like, if you PK'd for 5 hours, you'd probably get like 2 or 3. So they're common enough to be considered common enough.
I wonder if they're
Well
gonna
said.
keep that stuff.
No, they said they'd keep it, but in the little thing by Mod, what's his face, he said that they were going to be kind of like moved around and become more rare kind of thing. And now you see, the thing is currently like, if I had the money, I totally don't, because I got like a 10 mil bank, but if I had the money for it, I would go and I would buy a VLS if I wanted to down people for wealth, if I wanted to down people for barrows, for whips, for bank, if I wanted to just get a fuck ton of kills and do all that. But if I want to actually make money, I can't do that, because I'd never make the 13 mil back, because I get fuck all for loot. Now, if people buy PvP weapons, I think a lot more people will start doing that, because you're actually going to start making
A lot of more money, yeah.
off it. If you actually down someone for a whip using that VLS, well, look, that's like, supposedly, let's just say it's 3.5 mil. 3.5 mil made back towards the VLS price. And you've only got 59 more minutes with it. Like, potentially you could make a lot of money on it, as opposed to be like, okay, well, I'm going to go PK for fun and probably die really quick and lose my VLS. And even if I get 30 kills with it, downing like $50 million, I'm probably not going to make any money. But now I think people are.
I'll bet you they'll fucking raise in price like a motherfucker.
Yeah, I think VLS are at least going to go back to like 20 mil. Status Warhammer will probably be comparable, probably not like super comparable, but you know, comparable enough. Oh my god, dude, people are throwing Molotovs at me. Holy shit. That's kind of crazy. Okay, getting off topic here, playing Fallout. So I think prices will go up like fucking crazy, because people will actually start using it, have some use for it, they'll be able to make profit, and they're going to make it supposedly rare, so I think whatever method they introduce for it, people aren't going to be PKing in the old wilderness to get Vesta longswords and stuff. And people aren't going to be 7.6k'ing anymore to get like farming item drops, and that's how a lot of them came into the game. A lot of them do come from actual PKing, yeah, but at the same time, you know, like I just go AFK for 2 hours and then go to tricking people and oh look, a Vesta longsword, oh look, a Status Warhammer, oh look, some random bank making method.
Do you use those like when you get them as a drop? Do you use those, Matt? I've
Uh,
really never asked you.
I've used enough Vesta longswords and a couple Stadius Warhammers, yes.
Okay.
To say that
Well,
I
I
use
mean,
them,
like,
yeah.
I would have figured maybe you would sell them and you know
I
use
usually
that.
sell them at the time, but if I do have the money for it and I just want to go get the clips, or I guess back in the day when I wasn't making videos, just go get the kills and just actually have some serious fun with it, I'd totally just buy like a Vesta longsword and go down people for like crazy amounts of whatchamacallit stuff. So I really enjoy that, but that was for fun. Now it's actually going to become a thing for money. It's in the same sense, oh, well, you can just buy claws and do that too. Yes, you can, but you could always make profit with claws, and now you can quite possibly make profit with Vesta and Stadius items and stuff. So I think that's going to be a new market.
Well, you can make a profit with the current price. You don't know what's going to happen to the prices after they do this shit.
Well, I can see it going to like 20 mil for a Vesta Long. I can see it going to maybe 25 mil, but depending on how hard they make it to get, they could go pretty crazy. But at the same sense, I don't think they want to pull a climbing boots on it and
No.
totally just like make it so retardedly awkward and stupid to get that the price is just driven up tenfold.
I don't think they'll do. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Depending on how many people are using that in the old wildy, you never know, like whether or not they're gonna make it like super rare. Because I mean, if everybody's walking around in the wilderness with a fucking Vesta longsword, hit fucking 600s and shit, I mean, there's no point in even fucking going there.
Fair
So,
enough.
so my guess is that they're gonna probably make it pretty damn rare, and I could almost see it hitting 30, 35 mil.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Because it is a lot more reliable than a claw spec.
Oh yeah.
At the same time, what's gonna happen to God swords?
Oh, they're gonna crash like fucking motherfucker.
Well, I don't think they'll crash that much, honestly, because they have a really high alc price, and
Well, no, because they're not gonna be. Well, I don't know if they're gonna change the losing, like losing it to the game or whatever. But if people like die and their god swords laying on the ground, then obviously people are still farming for fucking hilts and shit.
yeah, I think they'll still go down in price, but I don't think it's going to be some dramatic, crazy, just stupidly ridiculous drop. Because now the
You
thing
may not even
Barrows,
see god swords in Wildy once this happens.
well, I don't know, but I can see Barrows crashing just retardedly. Because the only reason Barrows are so high right now is because you lose Helm like every single time. Like the chance of actually getting a Helm is it's just so low.
Yeah.
It's just so stupidly low.
I think you have more of a chance to get the weapons than you do the helm.
Yeah, you usually get the weapon and the body. You very rarely
Yeah.
get the bottom, and you very rarely get the helm, because the game is actually thinking it's being nice to you by giving you high alc value items, which are usually the
Just
really low
retarded,
value
yeah.
parts, because, and the only reason back in the day it was, yo, I'm gonna go buy a whip or a Darok's Great Axe for training on ogres. They're both 3.5 mil. It's
Yeah.
like, the only reason it's like that now, like, before it's like 2.6 mil Darok set and the helm is 600k. You smite that thing, you're like, okay, cool, it's got a 600k drop, awesome. It's not like, oh my god, I just soul splitted a 10 mil helmet. No. It's not like that, because you actually get it. You down Bandos, guess what? You get Bandos on the ground. It's not going to drive up the price. No, it's going to stay the same. Or if anything, someone else just got one as a drop and you kept one in the game, so now the price has gone down that tiny little bit. So prices are going to go down for items, and in that sense, talking about the GE, I think that prices are really, the only thing that's going to keep its value is going to be money. The only
Pretty
thing.
much.
Because, quite honestly, what else can keep value? Because now, I don't know a specific list of items, but stuff like, essentially anything that you could possibly ever have the notion of PKing with, I think will go down in price. Just personally.
What do you think about?
I think I
Okay.
agree.
Yeah.
Well,
I was gonna say, what do you think about like rares and stuff though? How it's not gonna be affected?
Oh,
man.
those won't be affected, I don't think.
They'll be affected, but not in a way that people think. People think, oh my god, rares are gonna crash. No, because you see, the thing about junk and rares is you pay like 2 bill for a P hat, because 2 bill, that junk that you're getting or giving to someone has only made you 600 mil profit or something, but you had to actually buy like 1 bill junk, or like 1.3
In order to
bill
do-
junk to
yeah.
actually build up the 600 mil profit on it to be able to sell it away for 2 bill total. Now people want to sell their P-hat for 1 bill, which is essentially, supposedly what they were selling it for before. They can actually do that because you can just ask for 600 mil and people can give you 600 mil, not 2 bill with 600 mil profit for you.
Well, once free trade fucking opens up, then the street price bullshit with junk will probably go away because people can just throw down 2 bill there.
Well, see, there's that, but they've said some things, and I really hope they do this, is that they don't open up free trade for everyone.
What do you mean?
Well, you see, think about what's stopping me from just buying 5 pins or getting 5 credit card account memberships, whatever, but just like getting 5 new members and just suicide botting them on something that's like 500k an hour for a week straight. Oh, look, they're not banned here. I'll X for all the money to a legit account. What's stopping me from doing that? I think they should have
their detection systems. I mean, he said
they're lying.
Well,
even if it's better, what's stopping me from just taking a level 3 that I don't care about the welfare for? Yes, you'll catch it. I'm aware that you're going to catch it. But what's stopping me from just fucking not caring and giving myself like 30 mil per account before it gets banned?
True.
That's what I'm saying. I think now there's no real...
There might be like a level requirement or something.
That's what I'm thinking. I think they need something like, at least something like a total level requirement or a certain number of hours played plus total level requirement.
Or even age of the account. Like if the account's been around for like a week and it's got like
I'm really hoping they can implement that.
it.
Because, see, there's all these things that would be great, but they'd be really hard to implement, right?
Not really. They already calculate how much time everybody spends.
Well, not really hard, but
accounts.
just like instantly in game. Like, are they going to do it by server, or just when you trade someone, it suddenly detects if you've or like stuff like that?
It'll probably be like a switch. Like if your account has accumulated enough fucking hours, it'll be a switch, and therefore your account will be able to free trade.
Yeah, however, I really hope they have something like that.
However, if your account has only been around for a week or whatever, and you're trying to trade, and I mean, it's not gonna have that switch.
Fair enough.
That would be really easy to do.
Yeah, I really hope they do something like that, because if they don't, then people are just gonna like, okay, yeah, you've stopped botting, but really? No, you haven't.
Dude, you got to think that like they've been I'm pretty sure since 2007, and since they've
I totally agree. They've had 3 years to perfect this to a point of where they can supposedly get it right. But then again, well, I do have new faith in them now, and hopefully they were a great company before. They can do that again. They've been playing the bad guy. Okay, not playing the bad guy. They've been the bad guy for the past 3 years because they've been douchebags. But hopefully they've just been saying, no, we're never going to bring the wilderness back repeatedly, so that they could release this good. They could release it well. They're not going to be like, oh, we're totally bringing it back, guys. Don't worry, it'll be there eventually in 3 years. No, they've had to say no so much because now they can actually release this correctly,
I wonder what's going to happen to the bounty hunter creator.
They said they'd move a lot of things, right? They said they move a lot of mini games. They'll move a lot of like clue-related stuff because the wilderness. Well, there are 160 worlds, and people are exaggerating how populated it's going to be in certain areas. It is still a lot more dangerous than it is before because everyone actually knows what's going on.
Well, they may re-release the Wildy, but they may keep PvP worlds. So there may be certain worlds that you can PvP in.
I think I prefer that, honestly.
Yeah,
I think they'll actually keep like their PvP worlds
the people that are doing clues like on different worlds.
Oh, they said they'd release something like for. They said they're going to accommodate this, and I'm assuming they've thought about that already. This is okay. Throughout this conversation discussion, I'm going to assume that Jagex has thought about all these things that we're not totally bringing it to their attention right now. But yeah.
Well, no, I'm sure they sit around for 8 hours a day doing the same shit we're doing here for 10 minutes,
Yeah, fair enough. This is going to be a lot longer than 10 minutes now. I've got to use this for, like, all my daily videos before PvP comes out.
We're on 14 right now.
Awesome.
But, do you want to talk about Old Skull and 4-iteming?
Okay, so they took out 4-iteming because people were using it to EP. Now with the death of EP and the introduction, or reintroduction of the Old Wilderness, I think they'll bring it back. I think they will, and I really hope they bring back the Old Skull. And now, for all of those who do not know, back in the day, because you've totally started playing, and there's always been a skull whenever you enter a PvP world, and you lose all your shit, or you keep one thing automatically, before Protect Item actually meant something. Before, if you click Protect Item, guess what? You get to protect an item. If you forget to click it, oh look, I just lost my AGS. Or if you get smited, getting smited actually meant getting smited. That's
Yeah.
totally what it meant. Like, oh, I just smited a whip. Oh, I just smited a Darok